Good day, everyone. This is Pilot Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there, Drac. I heard that it's getting chilly up in Barovia.
It is. Mother Nature is just a fickle little wench. That's all I can
Oh,
say about that.
really?
You know, when you go from 75 one day to 20s and snow in 2 days later, somebody done to piss Mother Nature off.
Okay.
So make up your mind. Are we in spring? Are we still in winter? I mean,
Well,
come on now.
obviously, someone snuck some margarine on her, right? Yes.
Something like that.
Yes, I don't know if you remember that commercial.
Vaguely.
Yes, it's not nice to fool Mother
Okay, all
Nature.
right. Yes. Okay, now I know the word you're talking about. All right, yep. I
Okay,
can,
now you
I
know.
completely forgot about that. Well played, sir.
Yes.
And Goldilocks said, "Who's been eating my porridge?"
Mother Nature, was this on the porridge?
Yes, lots of my delicious butter.
That's chiffon margarine, not butter.
Margarine? Oh, no, it's too sweet, too creamy.
Chiffon so delicious it fooled even you, Mother Nature.
Oh, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. If you think it's butter, but it's not. It's chiffon.
Let's then head into our news for today. And we're going to begin with a slight delay to Sharn because apparently they need an extra 2 weeks to get it ready.
Apparently so. Cordovan posted over on the forums. Hello. We're writing to update you on the release date for the Masterminds of Sharn expansion. In recent days, as we've neared the original April 30th date, we've been looking at several things we want to do yet, based in parts on your feedback from Lamania. And so we have decided to take a bit more time for the final bug fixing and polish work. The new release date for the Masterminds of Sharn expansion is now May 14th. So just a couple weeks. I applaud them for this, though. I would rather see them get it polished, maybe get some changes in, then release it. It's a buggy mess. Then they have to take the servers down, do a couple hot fixes. So I, for one, applaud them for doing it.
I just try to figure out how they thought they could do it with only 2 previews in the first place.
That too. It's like, yeah, you should have seen this coming. But, So, yeah, so we'll see. So, May 14th. But on the plus side, this means we're going to get one more Lamania preview, though.
Ooh.
Coco Mojobo posted with the recent delay of the live server release of Update 42. We have gained time for a final Lamania preview. This third and final preview is expected to be open on Lamania sometimes in the afternoon of Tuesday, April the 30th, until sometime in the evening of Thursday, May the 2nd. There is a planned dev event going to take place on Wednesday, May 1st at 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is the server time, where members of the DDO team is going to be on the Mania to answer questions, collect feedback, and run content with the players. Coco did say Preview 3 is expected to showcase all of Update 42's feature in the polished state. That's going to include the Sharn public areas, the Cogs Explorer areas, the 9 Sharn story dungeons, 6 Cog Explorer dungeons. And then he says, yep, we've managed to stretch our goal and now fully expect an additional Explorer dungeon that we were willing to commit to at the time of the pre-purchase announcement. So the delay may be added to that. Then, of course, the one Sharn raid. This is the only one that is going to release the same time the expansion comes out. Another one will be coming later. Kind of like they did with Ravenloft. You can look at the name loot, minor artifacts, filigrees, and miscellaneous changes and fixes. So there you go. We have to wait 2 more weeks for it to go live, but we're going to get a Lamania. So balances out, I guess.
We'll see what's like when it actually comes to us.
Exactly. But see, and that also means that we have 2 more weeks to prepare for it. So it's good.
Yes, there is that also because I was wondering how my Dragonborn was going to get to level 15 in time for a April 30th release, but I think I'll have no trouble whatsoever getting to 15 by a May 14th release. So
Yeah, I think you should be able to.
therefore, let's head into the DDO Chronicle where it looks like where is that?
I'm guessing Sharn somewhere, but I don't
Oh,
really know.
yeah. I guess that would be a good
Yeah.
guess.
Just guessing. It's just a nice little character shot of a couple different characters behind some kind of backdrop. I'm guessing it's Sharn, but as I have not done any Lumania at all this time, I can't say for sure, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that is Sharn-ish.
Have you decided whether or not you're going to try some Lamania next week?
Maybe. The plan is maybe, but I don't know. It
Maybe.
just depends. Life. Well, we won't talk about that. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
I know. We used to do that together, but because we no longer play on Wednesdays instead of on Mondays.
Right. Yeah. So, and then I was thinking, oh, we could do that. Oh, no, it's not going to be open until Tuesday.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get on Lamania this week. Hopefully, we'll see what happens.
Right,
with
because I think
that.
on Wednesday you play on Argo or something like that.
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
So, Wayfinder, not Argo.
Oh,
but yeah.
Wayfinder. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, Wayfinder.
I lost my way.
Ooh, I see what you did there. Let's take a look at what else is in our chronicle. We've got our community spotlights, of course. The 2019 Summer Munchkin Games is coming on Kyber soon. Click over and check out the summer game schedules for that if you want to take part in the Munchkin Games. If you are listening to this live, you have missed the High Lords Thunder Peak and Deathworm teaching raid that is taking place tonight, Saturday, April the 27th, as we record this, because my life sucks so bad we couldn't record until Sunday night, or Saturday night. Anyway, if you're listening to this after it's released, you missed it. Watch the video and learn. Then we have our Fansite news section. As always, we got a shout out for our episode, DDO Selfies, which I liked that title personally. Freedio with Cycle Blonde had a new episode out. DDO Cast 555. I cannot believe they are on episode 555. That is crazy. They're talking about Reaper status update. Part 1, so apparently more parts of that coming. We have Dia de Reaper Con Hyberman. I'm always going to pronounce that wrong, but it's what I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Dia de Reaper con Ibirnum.
There you go. What Pineleaf said.
Well, I'm sure that if we had someone who actually spoke Spanish, they would be able to say that even better.
Well, yeah. Maybe we should work on that. So if anybody out there speaks Spanish, pronounce that for us. Send it to us. We'll play it on the show. BioBreak got a new blog up. Buried Alive in Dungeons & Dragons Online. Brock and Friends now with 33% more friends. Check out their latest episode. Ginger Spice running Reaper Life 3 gets 10k Reaper XP in an hour in Heroic. 10k Reaper XP in under an hour. Watch the video, see what Ginger Spice did. That's craziness to me.
And that is without exploiting?
I would hope so. I'm pretty sure Ginger Spice is not going to exploit, so we'll see.
Especially if you're being highlighted.
That's true. It's very true. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say no exploits. He is just that darn good. But watch the video and find out.
What's a typical amount of Reaper XP to get in an hour?
I guess it depends how many quests you run, probably.
Well, I guess you got a point with that.
Yeah. And probably what quest you what, because I'm sure each quest would give different XP. So
Okay, there
I'm
is that.
sure he has the optimal way of doing it. Apparently, if he got 10K in under an hour, I'll have to watch that video. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet. Then Baklagor had episode 122 of Fridays on Ice, and Doug Glendower, of course, with a new episode of The Bard Life. And we have our Chronicle comment of the week. Why were Warforged peacocks created?
Why were Warforged? And I was wondering if it was created by WBC, the Warforged Broadcasting Company.
Oh wow. Wow. I can't even top that. I got nothing else to add to that. Pine Leaf wins.
Sorry about that.
Just gonna get right into the screenshot of the week. Speaking of a Warforged peacock,
Yes.
Eberina and her new companion prepared to tackle Sharn in style. That's the 412th DDO screenshot of the week, and that is from Eberina for sending that in. That's a pretty awesome looking little pose she's got going on, and the Warforged peacock. I love those.
To show off the peacock.
Yeah, I love those Warforged peacocks a lot.
I guess they had to do that to be their answer to the regular peacocks that they have in Lotro.
I didn't realize Lotro had peacocks.
They added, I think it was the Summer Festival last year, where
nice.
you were able to earn peacocks. I think it was the Summer Festival where you could get them. Well, with that being our Chronicle for this week, what's on sale?
We've got some pretty decent stuff. Astral Shards, as I always say, if you're going to buy them when they're on sale. 25% off of those Guild-renowned elixirs, 50% off Guild charters and the Guild airship beacons. That all runs through May the 2nd. And our weekly coupon is going to get you a lasting potion of Resist Sonic plus 20. 5 of those. Use the coupon code SonicResist also through May the 2nd.
Then let's go and see what is on the tabletop. Where you are going to panic because Castle Panic is coming in a big box.
A really, really big box. It is hard to believe it's been 10 years since Castle Panic has came out. So Fireside Games has decided they're going to go big for the 10th anniversary. And for the first time ever, you can get the base game and all 3 of the expansions together in one big box. Also, including in this is going to be 10 promo cards, 5 promo towers, and a revised comprehensive rulebook. And it comes in a collectible box with an organizer insert as well. So Fireside Games is doing it upright for the 10th anniversary of Castle Panic. And in case you do not know what Castle Panic is, it is a light cooperative strategy game. You're going to work together. You're basically defending your castle. And then the castle is in the center of the board, and then monsters are going to come and attack your castle, and you all have to work together to protect the castle. That's a basic summary of the game. But as I said, this is going to include the base game, 3 expansions, and a bunch of promo cards.
And of course, there have been variations done over the years of Castle Panic, because I remember there being a Star Trek version made at one point.
Yep, there's a Star Trek Panic, there's Cthulhu Panic, seems like there's another one as well, but I can't think off the top of my head what it is. But this is pretty sweet. So this is the perfect way, if you've never played Castle Panic and you want to check it out, this is the perfect way of jumping in, because you're going to get expansions, promo cards, cool little insert to hold all the stuff, big box. Great. Gameplay is in about an hour. It's 1 to 6 players, ages 10 and up. The MSRP on this is going to be $89.95. This will release later this summer. Once again, it's the Castle Panic Big Box coming from Fireside Games.
Then let's go and find out what's on the screen. where Humble More Board Games Bundle by Asmodee. Humble More Board Games Bundle?
That's easy for you to say. Yes, it's the Humble More Board Games Bundle. And the reason for that title is they previously, a couple months ago, had the Humble Board Games Bundle. So now this is a More Board Games Bundle. It makes sense.
Okay,
And,
okay.
and there's different games in this one. This is a heck of a deal, though. For just $1, Pine Leaf, for $1 measly dollar, you can get Ticket to Ride, First Journey, Gloom, Love Letter, and Twilight Struggle. $1 gets you 4 amazing board games. Of course, this is the digital versions of the board games, so you're going to redeem the code on Steam, and then you're going to have video game versions of the board games.
All right, and what happens if you beat the average?
The average is $8.80 as we record. You are going to get the 4 that I mentioned, plus you will get Pandemic, Ascension,
Ascension.
Yeah, thank you. That word. Ascension, the deck building game. Mysterium. You're going to get the Hidden Signs add-on for that, and Secrets and Lies for that, and Carcassonne, and Carcassonne Inns and Cathedrals. So more great games. But wait, Pine Leaf. But wait, there's more. There's more. $12. 12 measly dollars. That is, think of like it, you can skip lunch for 2 days and you could have $12. Because I bet the average lunch costs at least probably $6. So skip lunch 2 days. You can also get all the games that I mentioned, plus Scythe Digital Edition and Pathfinder Adventures, the Obsidian Edition.
Okay.
That $12, you're getting a boatload of great games. I would say Scythe and Pathfinder are worth it alone. But then you add in Ascension, you add in Pandemic, Mysterium, and Gloom, and Love Letter. No-brainer. So yes, this is a Humble Bundle. So of course, you can donate to charity. You can set it up to where you can give more to charity. You can set it up to give more to Asmodee Digital. You can decide how you want to do it. And I do have to state that if you do use the link that is over on DDO Players in the article, we do get a little percent of the sale. You can pick how much you want to give to us. Our charity of choice is the American Cancer Society, so you can pick how much you want to give them, and then how much you want to give to the Asmodee Digital. So just to be totally open about that, that is a affiliate link, but you can choose how much you want to give, like I said, to us, to the charity, or to Asmodee. So check it out, though. But I'm telling you, for $12, even $1, you get 4 great games. But for $12, you can get a boatload of games. You have 9 days to jump in on this as we record the show. Yeah. So if you're still kind of on the fence, you got a couple days to think about it.
Well, what is Ticket to Ride First Journey, and how is that different from regular Ticket to Ride?
That is what was the kids version that came out. It's a way streamlined version. It's a lot easier. Okay. It plays a lot quicker. It's basically aimed for kids.
Okay.
I played the actual tabletop version of it one time. It was, I want to say, a Target exclusive. I don't think that was a Walmart. I think that was a Target exclusive.
Okay. Then let's into our week in DDO then, and what have you been up to?
Well, not a lot, really. Once again, my life is crazy, and there's some things going on in my life that I don't wish to discuss because I'm trying to forget them. But anyway, one day I'll tell the whole nightmarish story, and people will be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry you went through that." Well, yeah, it's a nightmare, but we'll just leave it at that.
All right.
So I did play a little bit with you. I will let you talk about that. And then did play over on Wayfinder, of course. Seems to be Wednesday night is the night for that. We are kind of playing at various times, but here lately we've been playing on Wednesday. Of course, that is the static group. It used to just be Rent and Tay and I. Now we roped Lessa into it as well.
I should remember that.
Yeah, so she's like a permanent member of the static group now.
Yeah, it
So
was the all-male static group, yes.
I guess say we can't call it that anymore. We were joking that it's a reverse harem now, so it's a harem.
His hero.
So we have to come up with a new name because it used to be the Three Amigos. Well, that's not going to work anymore. So, but
Lessa's lackeys.
there you go. I like that. She'll like that as well. But
or Lessa's devils or something like that.
That's probably more appropriate. But yeah, that's way more appropriate. But I just have to say, I am having so much fun playing in this. I enjoy playing with all three of them so much. We have so much fun. We have just the conversation is like, I wish you could hear some of the well, maybe not. But anyway, I am enjoying DDO again because I was kind of getting burned out maybe a little bit on DDO, and I know we're running stuff that I ran many times previous, but it's like new and fun and exciting because I enjoy playing with these guys so much. So I look forward to Static Group every week. And like I said, so far we've been on Wednesdays, so we'll see if we stick with that. But we are in Evening Stars, so I did reach level 19. That, of course, was on my rogue. It's the Vistani Night Fighter. We finished up the Druid's Deep by running the Druid's Curse. And then Lessa decided that she wanted us all to have the Shard of Zoriat, which drops out of the Sane Asylum, which you picked that quest up in the 12. So we did a bunch of speed runs of that. So we were basically just doing it to get it done. We weren't doing any optionals. We were just doing speed runs. We ran it in about 6 to 7 minutes is how fast we got that down to. And we did manage to get several shards of Zoriat to drop and a couple of sustaining symbiotes dropped as well too. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we have that quest down now to where we can run it. Like I said, it was about 6 to 7 minutes for the speed run. That was insanely fun. And then Lessa said she wanted to run the Web of Chaos so she could unlock fast travel to Evening Star. She hadn't done that yet over on Wayfinder, so we started to do that. We were doing that on Elite, so we did the first two of that, which is Lords of Dust and Servants of the Overlord. And so we'll finish that off next time we play, and then not sure what else we'll do, but we're probably going to quest out in Evening Star some more.
What do you mean by fast travel to Evening Star?
You have to run the Web of Chaos quest chain to be able to get the transfer or transport to Evening Star on the load screen.
Oh, and how do you get there otherwise?
I really don't know. I don't think there is a way. At least I don't know if there is. I'm sure if there is, somebody's going to comment on this and say, you were so stupid, you do it this way. But to my knowledge, I don't think there is. The only way to be able to do that is you have to run that quest chain.
So it's not the fast transfer, then it's the only transfer.
Right, yeah. And then eventually you can get like a key to Evening Star, but I'm not even sure how you get that either because I don't have one, but I've heard people talking about them. So
okay.
Don't know what it is. But that's pretty much my week. What about you? I see you did a lot of stuff.
All right, I'll begin with what I did with you, where we headed into White Plume Mountain, then ran the Church and the Cult, the Library of Threnno, and secure the area. And all that at level 9. Then on the Dragonborn, actually, I think secure the area was at level 10 maybe because that was...
Yes, it was, and I was surprised. Pine Leaf said, oh, yeah, we can go ahead and go in there. Because I was like, oh, we're only level 9. Pine Leaf's never going to do this. A level above us. And he's like, oh, we can try it. I'm like, what? What have you done with Pine Leaf? I'm so confused.
Yes. Then on my Dragonborn Artificer, I decided that perhaps it was a good time to run the. Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you the names of the quest. Then I can remember again the rage one. Yeah, yes, the
Oh, the Disciples of Rage.
yeah, Disciples of Rage. That's the name of it. Yes, Disciples of Rage. So I ran it. Night Falls on Storm Rage, Quarantine, Menace of Crowds, and then the Age of Rage. And of course, the Age of Rage has this beholder at the end, who is a pain. I'm not very fond of beholders.
And they're kind of a pain to fight. That is very true.
Yeah, so I had a painful thing against that little boss at the end of there. And when I was doing this quest chain, of course, I was reminded early on that that's right. I had forgotten that this is the prelude to Sharn.
Yeah, that's basically how they set Sharn up. That's why I
Yeah,
was pretty sure, because I remember when we were running this, they kept talking about Sharn and they were talking about stuff that is in Sharn lower. And I remembered I said, Sharn's coming. I know it's coming. They're hinting at it so much in this quest chain.
yes.
And then, of course, at the end, they take the thing to Sharn, so we have to go get it. So, yeah.
So we have to go get. And we're gonna have to go through 9 quests, I think it is, in order to get that
Indeed.
thing back.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Plus a
We-
bunch in the cogs, too.
Yeah. Well, I don't think. I think
Those are just for fun,
optional.
though. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are just for, quote, fun.
Fun or for extra XP and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yes, but yeah, we are going to have to then to go into Sharn in order to get that lighthouse beacon back or whatever that is that they stole. Then I ran toxic treatment. And remember what I said about tough boss fights against beholders?
Mm-hmm.
Ditto, ditto, ditto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, toxic treatment was also a real pain. Now, so after toxic treatment and getting through that, I decided, all right, Tower of Frost again.
Of course.
Of
The old
course.
standby Tower of Frost.
The old standby Tower of Frost. Then ran Tavern Brawl, Multitude of Menace, and Subversion.
Ooh, I love all those quests. Those quests are so fun.
Yeah, so that gave me a little time with that. Now my Dragonborn, I think, is one more bubble away from. So I'm on my last bubble now in order to get to 15. So that's why I said that I didn't think I was going to make it before April 30th, but I should have no trouble getting it by May 14th, barring any major situations to keep me from doing it.
Oh yeah, if you're just one bubble away, yeah, you should be
Yeah.
able to make that no problem.
Then in Minecraft, I ran the April Mage Rage week number 4, where I believe I mentioned last time that in week 3 I managed to finally break an hour, and week 4 I managed to break the record I set in week 3. So that was good. Where I demonstrated that no matter how you set things up, that the toughest thing to find in a Minecraft scavenger hunt is an egg. You'll think,
Okay.
how can it be so tough to find a chicken egg in Minecraft? But I was going around looking for all those 9 items, and then eventually, it took me a long time, but eventually, yes, I did manage to get that egg. That was the longest thing to get in there. But I managed to get everything, and I got it in less than an hour, and that's what's good on there. Then in tabletop, I managed to receive several games this week, so of course I had to try those things out. I got Quad Heroes, and in that I played the first 2 tutorial scenarios in there, and this is a rather unusual one. This is a you play it in several modes. It has a solo mode, cooperative mode, free-for-all mode, overlord mode, team mode. So you can think about various different minds. So they have different scenarios. The solo and cooperative ones tend to be on the same scenarios, and the free-for-alls tend to be their own types of scenarios. There are a couple of the, on the player versus player ones, they usually have separate ones for free-for-all and teams, and of course there are a couple of special ones that are with overlord players. So if you have a different styles you like to play, you could play it in those different styles. in my case, of course, I was trying out some of the solo runs and seeing how they operated. And in some ways, this game can remind you a little bit of Robo Rally in its style because it has various elements that are on the board, and these elements can cause you to move in different special ways, and you could push the other players and stuff like that. So there's some of these things that are reminiscent of Robo Rally.
Yeah, it sounds like it a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not. But you don't have the programming that you have in Robo Rally, and as I said, it does have a solo slash co-op option, which you don't have in Robo Rally. So this might actually work out and be very interesting. Oh yes, and of course in Robo Rally, you have these programming cards, and you program them up. And in this one, what you do is each of the figures that you have, your character is a square. And what you do is you tumble your square, and your action is dictated by what part of the square is face up.
Okay.
So therefore, your action is dictated by whatever face of your square is face up at the time.
Interesting.
And there is an option where you can sometimes rearrange what each of the faces mean. And one of the strange things I was going on there, I was going with the figure on the board and stuff like this. And I was wondering, why do they give us two miniatures when you only have one on the board? And eventually the designer said, "Oh, that's for reference because they didn't want you picking your figure off the board in order to try to figure out what each face was for each direction you had. So you have another
Oh.
copy of it in front of you, and you just check to see which one's on top, which direction it's facing, and then you can see where all the faces are going to be depending on which way you tumble.
Well,
So
that was kind of a smart design decision then.
yes, so that's what it was on there. Then the other game that I sidetracked was the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle Earth, where I tried the first adventure in the initial campaign there, going against various brigands all through there trying to search for their lair and all that stuff. So that was my first try with that. And then I then ran a game called Death Test.
Never heard of it.
You never heard of Death Test?
No, it sounds like something I would enjoy though.
This is a reissue of it because Steve Jackson finally got the rights back to it after not having the rights for the last 35 years, is it? Yeah, because he wrote the adventure, but when he created Steve Jackson Games, everything from the fantasy trip, part of the deal was that the metagaming kept all the rights to the fantasy trip.
Right, yep.
Right, and in fact, that's one of the reasons why Steve Jackson designed GURPS, was because he could no longer have access to the fantasy trip. And when he did this, of course, then metagaming folded. And when a game company folds, any games they have that they bought the rights for, that they didn't sell as part of that didn't essentially go into limbo. And this went into limbo for a long time because Death Test was around 70 something, I guess. Right, because let's see, what year was Wizard published in? Wizard was 1977, so Death Test was probably around 77, 78 or something like that. So that was 40 years ago. So that went into limbo for a while. The Steve Jackson, I guess after a certain number of years, the original copyright holder, the designer, is able to get the rights back. Because I guess they decided, well, yes, the company that was holding the rights is truly completely dead.
They're not coming back.
They're not coming back. Yes, it's been 35 years. So therefore, Steve Jackson reissued the Fantasy Trip, and reissued Melee, Wizard, In the Labyrinth, and Death Test. Now, of course, some of the other adventures created for the Fantasy Trip, which were not written by Steve Jackson Games, I have no idea who owns the rights to those. I presume the original authors may be getting them back or something like that. but those are likely to be forever in limbo also, unless the other authors manage to claim them and discusses a publication deal with Steve Jackson Games, perhaps, or something like that. But anyway, that was there. A little bit of Death Test. And Death Test then is, let's say that Fancy Trip is very, very old school in its style. I suggest you do not make your meticulous, I don't want to lose this character type character using the Fantasy Trip.
Don't get attached.
Don't get attached, especially if you're running them through Death Test. And I decided, since I hadn't done Death Test, especially under, I might have done it maybe about 10 years ago, except running it under GURPS instead of the Fantasy Trip. But the last time I ran under the Fantasy Trip has to be at least 20 years ago. So couldn't remember exactly how deadly this is. So I thought, all right, let's try bringing in 4 random beginning characters. Suggestion: never run Death Test with 4 beginning random characters. Oh boy, I got slaughtered.
Can see how well that worked out for you.
But there's a reason why they call it Death Test. They don't say it's easy. You don't go into an adventure called Death Test and expect it to be easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So I got what I expected there. We currently have 20 supporters on Patreon. If you would like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast your choice, or even be guests with us for an episode of DDO Players News. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at the Players Alliance, at Players Allied, DDO Players at DDO Players, Draculetta at Dracula_72, and Piney Fat Piney Steals. You can also follow Dracula on Twitch at Dracula_72, where I believe we are hoping to have a little something when Sharn gets released.
Indeed. Look for a new series coming soon. May 14th, as a matter of fact.
May 14th. Well, 14th is when they are.
Well, that's true.
Sharn,
so whatever the Monday after Sharn release would be, whatever date that would be.
That'll probably be the 20th.
Okay, May 20th then.
The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Thursdays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News. It's been known to move on occasion.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
And on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Locha Players News. You can join us for our shows on ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Polytheodles reminding you to quest responsibly.